All right, so I got a MacBook Neo. I'm Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle. Today is Monday, 27 April 2026, and some of you are like, all right, we get it, you got a new computer. Tell us about the old one. Well, you've got a few computers you use that are older, so tell us about the one before it. So this is my, I think they were, I got them when they were released 2016, like in that kind of pocket, so to speak. So they were released in 2016, the MacBook Pro with touch bar. And I got mine in approximately February 2017. So in it, I'm filming this in 27 April 2026. This is all AD. So it's over 9.00 years of age, and I still use it on a daily basis. So how is it doing at the over 9.00 years of consecutive usage, full time mark? And so let me do... turn the brightness all the way down so you can't see anything on the screen. It's not illuminated. And the MacBook Pro with touch bar is a computer where, so there's like brightness keys and sound keys and like play, pause, fast forward, that kind of thing. And on the MacBook Pro with touch bar, with this beauty, the instead of them being keys, it's this right here. So if I want to adjust brightness, that's here. If I want to turn the brightness up on the keyboard. So the keys are actually illuminated. It's possible to illuminate the keyboard. I do this. And I don't know. The light shines up beneath the keys. And turn it off because that can drain the battery. And then there's, you know, sound and stuff. And this is what it looks like. The keys were a little on the thinner side, and when I got it, was like, I don't know if they're like, I had really thick keys on the MacBook Pro I had before it, and I still have that one, and I still use that. I still use that, and I still use this. This is the one I use every day. The other one is less frequent, but I do use it. And then I have my MacBook Neo that I've been using every day as well. And it's doing wonderfully in some ways. I think the battery's gone down. I would ballpark it at maybe like 50% of what it used to be able to do. 50 to 60. It might actually be higher, it might be lower, I don't know. But like I do like, I was like 60%, 59%. I was something of it. The brightness for this particular device was always a problem for whatever reason. And and I played around with it a little bit, if I'm recalling correctly. When I initially got it, was the brightness was like, I would like turn it like all the way down, and it would still be like brighter than like 2/3 full brightness on the computer I had before it. And I was like, what the heck is this? And the battery would drain so quick. And that, so I'm like, when I say like 50 to 60%, I'm like, I'm not actually sure, because I had problems with that from the beginning. The keys were a little flimsier. Compared to before, the trackpad on this one clicked. It is the most resilient MacBook I've dropped. I've dropped it. I took it, I was holding it, and I dropped it onto a flat tile floor, like cement level hardness, like this. I went smack, and I was like, it's dead. And what happened to it? There's a little bit of a crease right here, and that's it. Okay, this is like the most resilient computer device I have ever owned. I'm not joking. So it's doing wonderfully. I still use it. Unique to this device, between this and my MacBook Neo, I have not actually I've decided not to put Microsoft, any of it, on my MacBook Neo. So this is where I use Microsoft, like Microsoft Excel. But yeah, and it's, so the battery's diminished a little. It's not, the computer itself is shockingly about as fast as when I got it. It has slowed down like this much in 9 years, whereas like the computer I had before, the 2012 approximately one, that one slowed down a bunch. This one is like, it's the speedy. It cost me about $2,200. It was my own, I was doing like computational physics and stuff, and I was like, I'm getting the nice thing. It was like $2,200. It's one of the most expensive items I've ever bought in the entirety of my existence, for real. Yeah. And the display still works. I have had far less operational problems. I'd say at about 3 years of age, it started to temper out and it had far less functionality problems. Yeah, it used to get way too hot, and it still does, but not to the severity that it used to. So this is, I would actually put this as my first computer device. Is it my first? I have another one. So actually, hold that thought. One of my computer devices where it has gotten better with age. For real, it works much better than it used to, and it's over 9.00 years, and I've used it full time. Okay. For over 9.00 consecutive years. So I'm like looking at it and I'm like, Apple, what did you do? But that's half the story. The other half of the story is me using it. And so this is the device that I started my cardiology self-experimentation on. Like, it was approximately time coincident, and I started having these problems really early on. It's gotten better with age, and I was like, instead of just being like, no, it doesn't work, and taking it in, I decided I'm going to work through those problems. If it's a key problem, if it's a brightness problem, if it's I'm having a problem with this application, I'm going to work through it, and I'm going to try, and like I call it like key rehabilitation. I'll press somewhere else in the key and see if I can rehabilitate the key. So if it's like sticky or like it doesn't press down right when I press it, I'll work on rehabilitating the key until it works and it goes back to normal operations. And I found it might take a month or two to get like a full cycle in, but it'll return back to normal. That's a testament to my own stuff that I have actually used in my cardiology self-experimentation. So this is the most important electronic device in terms of how I treat an item, and actually applying how I treat the device to my own body and my own heart. So cardiology is study of the human heart. So like this beauty is very important to my blood pressure and blood glucose specifically. I have used my iPhone XS. However, this is one that was like from day one. This is my soulmate. My heart from my heart. You know, and for better for worse, I still use it. You know, I have MacBook Neo. I named this one Meson, M-E-S-O-N, after the elementary particle in particle physics, or after an entity in particle physics. So yes, very, very, very important for my escalation and commitment as a cardiologist self-experimenter. My being a cardiologist, my being a physiologist, that kind of thing. So yes, a beauty that I still use and I'm happy with. So there we go. And I'm Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle.